In our previous video, I travelled from Yarra Junction to the historic hamlet of Powelltown, nestled in the beautiful forests of the Yarra Ranges east of Melbourne. We started our hike here along the former tramway up to Reed's Sawmill, and then we talked a bit about the Powelltown Tramway, which we are going to continue to follow in this video. If you want to know more about this background, make sure you check out part 1, linked up here in the top right hand corner and in the video description below. In today's video, I've now walked further east from Powelltown, where today we will look at what's left of an abandoned town and see if we can find any remnants of an old tramway tunnel. So join me today as we head deeper into the mountains. So I'm now a few kilometres east of Powelltown and we've come to Big Creek Road, otherwise known as the Bump. The Bump is a steep hill in between the two river catchments of the Little Yarra River and the Latrobe River, and this presented a big physical barrier to the tramway. When the first steel-tracked tramway was built through here in 1915, the initial engineering solution was a track that just went straight up the hill. The locomotives and wagons would be pulled up this slope using winches and cables powered by a steam engine. Although it did work, this soon became a serious bottleneck. As a result, it was replaced in 1926 by a new alignment and tunnel that went under the bump instead, and made it much easier and quicker to get through. This was actually the largest of its kind in Victoria at 313 metres long. Unfortunately, the tunnel doesn't really exist today. After many years of service and the closure of the tramway in 1945, it was blown up and its remains gradually reclaimed by nature. Now, soon after heading off from the bump, I found these holes in the ground nearby. These seemed to be cave-ins to the tunnel from when it was demolished, so I didn't venture too close to them. From what I could see, these were the only visible signs of the tunnel remaining here. Or were they? I actually kept walking here to have a poke around to see if there was anything else left from this feat of engineering. And sure enough, I soon found what seemed like the former tramway, but it wasn't very clear. It seems to be quite a flat piece of ground going into what is essentially the side of a hill that's far too steep to have been a path. And there seems to be a cutting on, at the very least, the right-hand side. Oh, the other reason why I think this might be is because this looks like an old tramway route here. The path to get down here is very steep and narrow and windy, and then suddenly it kind of comes out onto this very wide, flat path that is also on what looks like an embankment above, quite a steep drop down to the river. I made a note of where this was and headed further east towards the site of an abandoned town called Nyuk West. This was established to service the nearby sawmills, the first of which was installed by the Nyuk Sawmilling Company in 1917. At its peak, it had a population of about 150 people and included shops, a post office, boarding house, and the Nyuk West State School, also known as the Powelltown Bush State School. After the sawmill closed, the town fell into decline, but it still existed until it was almost completely destroyed in the Black Friday bushfires of 1939. The residents actually survived by taking refuge in the railway tunnel under the bump. To find this place, I walked over the Latrobe River, which is just a small creek at this point, to see if any trace of the town was left. This, I think, is where Nyuk West used to be, and given the thickness of the vegetation around here and the remoteness of it, I don't think there's anything left, and if there is, it's buried somewhere in those bushes that I'm not that interested in going rummaging around the bush for. But yeah, it's kind of interesting to think that here in all this dense vegetation, there was once a town with a school and a post office and all those sorts of things. So yeah, it's not here anymore for sure. So we're back at what I think may be the tunnel portal entrance. Now, I've had a look at the map that's been produced by the Light Railways Research Society, and they have very kindly provided GPS coordinates, specific GPS coordinates for some of the landmarks on here, including this tunnel entrance. And from what I can gather, given that the GPS in this valley is, not hyper accurate, I'm very, very close to it. It's either here or somehow on the other side of these rocks just here. So we're going to have a look here first, because this looks almost likely. I'm now right up on the face of it, and I think I'm prepared to call this the tunnel entrance. There's clear evidence here of excavation, human excavation. There are some markings on the rocks on the side. There's not much I can do with this stick I think I need to return with some construction equipment. And given that I'm currently surrounded by about 10 different spiders, and I've already had 4 in my face, I'm not going to go scrambling up there. And also because it's a tunnel and I don't want to, you know, fall into anything and kill myself. I guess we found a tunnel entrance, which is pretty cool. This is it, just behind me. I will say, if you're planning to come here and do these tracks, absolutely do. It's beautiful, you won't regret it. A couple of tips for you as someone who is here right now. One, this isn't the same as a track that you would go on in, say, the Dandenong Ranges. It's more rugged. The track is nowhere near as well formed. There's no gravel or anything, it's just dirt and some ferns. In some places it's really hard to see where the track goes. And this track that we've just done, the Reed's Tramline track, is one of the best formed ones, I think, around here. A lot of the other ones are more or less goat tracks, and you have to fight your way through a lot of the trees and bushes and things. So just be aware of that. Secondly, if you want one of the easier tracks to do, definitely pick this one, the Reed's Tramline Walk. Because it follows the tram line, the grade is very gentle in most places. The third thing is, a real pro tip for you is, if you can find a coolish day in summer and wait after a couple of days of rain like today, it's nowhere near as humid. The track's dry, so it's not, you don't have to go through mud or anything. And touch wood, hold on, touch wood, there are no leeches. Or hardly any leeches, unless I guess you go wading through the water maybe, but on this track you don't have to go wading through the water. Also, another tip, make sure you bring lots of water and lots of food. There are no drink taps here at all. And even if you're just going for a one-day hike like this, prepare for the worst. Make sure you've got 2 days of food, 2 days of water. Make sure you bring paper maps, all that sort of stuff, because this is a lot more remote than, you know, Belgrave or Upper Ferntree Gully or something. But as I said, don't let any of that dissuade you. You should absolutely come here. It's beautiful, it's quiet. I haven't seen a single other person on any of the tracks that I've been on today. But just be aware and be prepared. So that's it for today. That's the story of the Powelltown Tramway. There is a lot more to this history. So if you are interested, please check out the links that I've provided in the video description below. And as I said, thank you very much to the Light Railway Research Society of Australia for doing all the hard yards, producing maps and doing all the research. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.